Are you struggling with the ballpark cost of a promotional vehicle campaign? Pinning down expenses is easier said than done, especially when you're using multiple services. That's where Promohire comes in. In this video, I'm going to break down all the factors that affect pricing, giving you a much more specific figure to build into your budget. Hi, I'm Gary Parker, Director of Promohire, a promotional vehicle hire specialist. We've worked with many well-known brands across the years, including Google, Netflix, Amazon, Ted Baker, IKEA, you name it, and we've collaborated with them on activations. If you come for information on promotional vehicles, then you're in the right place. Before we delve into too much detail though, I should point you to our budget calculator linked below. This brilliant tool instantly generates an estimation of your headline expenses, allowing you to quickly judge whether a promotional vehicle hire is a good option for you. Price will vary from vehicle to vehicle, so make sure you check out our full selection under our vehicle options on the Promohire website. Beyond the calculator, there is a variety of other factors that affect price. As you can see, we provide a whole range of services to complement our standard offerings. If you would like a copy of this, feel free to navigate to our Costs and Services Explained article, linked below. So now it's time to talk these services through. Why do you need them, and what value do they add? Let's start with the design. The cost of the design process varies with the complexity of the proposed project and how much design support you will actually need. You will need support if you don't have an in-house designer, or if you're unfamiliar with working with vehicle templates or just graphic design in general. We provide an artwork guide and scale template for your vehicle, and our design experts are on hand to answer questions. Our support services include the production of mood boards, conceptual design, 3D renders and full technical CAD drawings. The best way to keep costs down is to prepare a specific brief and have your assets to hand. So if you have all your assets and a specific brief, then the design is only going to cost you around £400 to £500. We're more than happy to facilitate complicated designs with props and external modifications to any vehicle. But naturally, these type of builds cost more. The total cost for 3D props is very hard to nail down, as it really depends on what you want. In the past, we've produced props that range from a couple of £1,000 up to in excess of £25,000. Designs are created in 2D as standard. However, if you're looking for a full 3D render, then you should budget an additional £2,000 to £3,000. Together we can revise and amend as necessary. 2 sets of revision as standard. Additional revisions could cost more. Having your logistics prepared ahead of time will save you a lot of stress, which is why we offer a fully managed logistical service. Our budget calculator only makes estimations based around the M25. So if you're going further afield, factor this into your calculations. We supply professional drivers for all our vehicles, as many vehicles, particularly if they are older, require an expert touch and more than a little patience. Promohire takes the hassle out of logistics, allowing you to focus on your brand activation. Our vehicles are social media ready, meaning they are drivable around key locations. We divide them into 2 ranges, standard and full logistics. Vintage vehicles just aren't up to the challenge of long distance travel, so they travel on our dedicated transport. Vehicles covered by the standard logistics package are more drivable and capable of longer distances. We provide a professional driver. It saves you stress in the long run and allows you to focus on your campaign. Some venues come with requirements and regulations that can affect cost, though it's worth noting that these costs will be far less than the cost of the venue slot itself. Access restrictions affect when you can bring in your vehicle. This might mean you can only bring in your vehicle between, say, midnight and 2 AM. The logistical problems of getting workers home in the middle of the night also adds costs, as public transport is often just unavailable. Venues will sometimes require you to have a banksman, somebody to oversee the process of moving a vehicle into its allocated position. We can of course supply somebody for you. A banksman will likely add £300 to each event. Some venues will be able to offer you a dedicated power supply for an additional fee. while others allow generators or other external power sources such as lithium batteries. If you have complex requirements, we can provide an electrician, which will cost about £400 a day. If you want to reduce the overload of your campaign to a single point of contact, our campaign management services are for you. We can coordinate all things vehicle and logistics. This might involve sourcing venues, liaising with local council, site services, sourcing power, or compliance with rules and regulations. We offer several integrated management services: campaign management, project management, and event management. For reference, sourcing a 5-city UK activation with all of the above services would cost between £3,000 and £4,000. A campaign manager will handle all operational issues that might crop up prior to the event itself, something that requires quite a lot of planning. They would work as an extension of your team, taking full ownership of the brief and delivery of the brand activation. The pricing of a campaign manager is typically £450 a day, though in the case of extended campaigns we would look to agree on a set fee. An event manager will handle all daily operational issues that might arise during brand activation events. The price for an event manager is typically around £415 a day. We have an in-house videographer trained to bring your story to life. They can join you live on the day, capturing your brand activation as it happens. Photography will generally cost around £700 a day. For a 3-minute video, including photos and assets, we generally charge around £1,500. For short-term activations, if you require catering or replenishment services, we're happy to help. Sourcing and storing food, drink, stock, or whatever else might be required. The price of this is hard to predict as it depends on the type of volume and diversity of goods supplied, as well as specialist requirements such as refrigeration. On average, sampling and replenishment services range from as little as £200 to £500 for, say, a 5-day activation. For longer term support, we can recommend a specialist fulfillment company. As you can see, there are a lot of factors that go into pricing up your vehicle expenses on a promotional vehicle project. If you're happy with your expenses, it's time to put together a brief. You can find advice plus a convenient form to submit on our promotional vehicle checklist page. See the link below. This has been Gary Parker from Promohire. If you've enjoyed the video, give us a like and stay tuned. We've got fabulous videos coming out every week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.